I'm Sian, Larkin, the Manager of Design Services at PlanFirst Design. We specialize in architectural, interior and landscaping design, as well as interior decorating, engineering and quantity surveying.
I'm Leko, operator, architecture renovation specialist firm in Wellington.
Today we're going to be discussing flexible work from home spaces.
That's a really interesting evolution, how the computer basically was a static purpose-built entity, and now the portability has changed the landscape as well. Generally, I think the average family size is usually a 4-person household, which involves 2 children under 10. So renovation of any form of size is usually the stakeholders, the children, the pets, the adults. We generally, that's part of the mitigation plan.
And let's say, for instance, we're going to start with a blank canvas. Always have a look at furniture placement before you make decisions on what furniture to buy. You've got a whole seating area against the wall. And you can also then, at night, when nobody's actually working here, you can turn it into a gaming room. So that makes it quite flexible in use.
An analogy, because we do so many projects in terms of volume, and we've got a lot of data historically. 50% of work from home participants are more than happy to stare into a wall, and even more so, I'm surprised, but it doesn't cause them discomfort. They'll literally work in a closet.
Well, that is one of the very popular things at the moment, is what they call the cloffices. That is a real word. The closet office. Things that are popular at the moment. They don't take a lot of space. The fold-away desk, the wall desk. So next to the wall, when it's closed, it just looks like a panel. But it's fine to do a couple of emails at night or early mornings. And then just fold it away again when you're finished. And this is the one, the built-in wardrobe office, which is referred to as the cloffice. And when you finished working and you don't want to have your desk visible to you 24/7, so you can just close it up and nobody would even know that there is a desk in there.
This is based on the principle that people generally we're using a lot less paper, a lot more digital filing, and so the immediate workspace somebody needs is exactly like you're showing. If you've got a relatively small portable 11-inch computer, you don't need a big work surface. So it's changing quite a lot, and I don't think we'll see. I'm sure that like government agencies and big corporates will take some serious consideration. It's expensive real estate to basically provide each staff member the traditional square meterage that we're used to. A 1.8 meter by 1.8 meter corner desk, for example. So I don't think the work from home thing is only a condition of COVID. I think it is actually partly a case of the capabilities of our devices and their portability and how good the internet is.
That's actually very true, because I remember before the days of the laptop, you had a big tower and it wasn't really portable. So you had to come into the office to work because that's where your computer was.
The internet tended to be a wired connection to that big box.
Yes.
So that tended to occupy some area in the living areas of the home. But it's just absolutely remarkable now with not just wireless technology, but then the transmitters that allow the broadband to be at such high speeds throughout the house.
If you have a dedicated guest bedroom, you can have a Murphy bed that folds down. And it can quite comfortably be a guest bedroom. Next, shall we take some questions? Scott says, what's the best lighting for a flexible workspace?
Easy, natural lighting.
If you don't have an option and you have to stare into a wall, I would say just make sure you've got enough task lighting. The next one is the corner office, which is maybe not what most of us aspire to in this instance. But it can work very well if you've got an unused space in a lounge area.
Yeah, that's a nice image.
Yes, that's quite tucked away. It's not bothering anybody, and it can actually be a dedicated workspace.
Yeah, that one's reminiscent of that idea about when we used to do a dedicated computer desk in the side of a kitchen or dining area.
If noise becomes a problem, you can just put your noise cancellation AirPods or whatever in, and Bob's your uncle. And you could store some of your work documents in that ottoman, so it can double up as a seating.
And I think how the spaces blend is very much a condition of how people intend to negotiate and live in their home. I was at a project this morning where the customer does want a dedicated niche for a laptop because they don't want the kitchen island to become a pseudo desktop or a workstation.
I must say, from the customers that I see, I would say at least 50% of them ask for a dedicated workspace.
Like the photos you're showing, really nice photos.
Well, this one, I love using space under a staircase.
That's a really affordable solution, that one, because you had to build it there anyway.
Got it there anyway, exactly. And so often that space gets wasted. The window ledge desk, and there you've got more natural light than you could ever want, Nick.
I think, if you probably ask people working from home, I bet you it's various individuals, it's probably suiting the way they want to basically have like a sleep cycle. Where it would, I think they'd be very awkward to say that, they wanted to have like a 20-minute nap. And that's, the big companies like Amazon, that have introduced these things like literally full-size basketball courts in their work environments.
This is one of my favorite images. And it actually shows that this particular customer has taken an artwork and they've used it as sliding doors. So when they're not at their desk, then they just slide it closed and it actually becomes a feature in the room. And very similarly, you've got this one here, which is a little bit more formal with the timber slats, but it also opens up into a workspace. This is lovely. The hidden in plain sight desk. So it just looks like a normal console when you're not working, but it slides open into a workspace when you are working. And you can see, Nick, this takes absolutely no additional space.
That's right. One of the things that most of these images are showing is these are single occupant user requirements. That does imply that the work from home has had to do more with providing flexibility for employees after COVID.
If you look at how much time you save through not having to commute to an office, it can save an hour or two each day. And that can be productively spent doing work. And if you're going to be doing that, you need to make sure that your workspace is comfortable. This is particularly good for kids.
That's what we need in the office.
And then modular furniture, this could be your office space today, and in 9 months' time, it could look like this.
As you say, all those, the surface area of most of those desks you're showing is reflective of that condition that we're talking about, portable computers.
Just make sure that you do have enough socket outlets. What is do you see in your refresh business? What is the biggest requirement people have for home offices?
I think, as you said, dedicated space rather than flexible. We're literally talking about 1 meter wide type desks, but potentially as shallow as like 600 millimeters. So the as I said, the tech is very instrumental in that again, the laptop devices with the full high resolution that they have, people, users are more than comfortable to not have a dedicated screen.
And our topic, very apt for this time of the year, is outdoor spaces that feel like a holiday.
Nice.
So that'll be a fun topic going into December. So feel free to drop us the line anytime. Nick, thank you. And we will see each other next week.